everybody. I am so excited about today's video. I feel a little bit like a farm geek. I have been waiting and cannot wait to do this video. So I hope that you like it. Welcome back to my kitchen, Jamie Jan, non-toxic farm mom. This is something that I have been super skeptical about, and I have been doing my research and decided, you know what? It is time to try this for ourselves and to share it with all of you, because maybe some of you have heard about this or maybe you haven't. How many of you have heard about water glassing your eggs? Anybody? Okay, I've been researching it on and off for a couple of years, and I was like, there is no way this works. How can this possibly work? It doesn't seem safe. But after a lot of research and after reading a lot of blogs and YouTube people that I trust, I'm like, you know what? It is time for us to try this on our little farm. So Non-Toxic Farm Mom is going to give water glassing her eggs a try. So if you have never heard of this, water glassing eggs dates back to like the early 1900s. And it is a way of preserving your eggs, your fresh farm eggs, I should add, without a refrigerator. Okay, and so this comes in handy, especially if you have maybe a small farm or maybe you have a big farm. You know, if you have chickens, that once daylight savings times hits and once those sunlight hours decline, our egg production just decreases. It's just a fact of life. And I know that there are a lot of small farmers that supplement with artificial lighting to keep their chickens producing longer or throughout the entire winter. I have never done that. I do not believe in that. We did a lot of research ourselves, and you know, God made chickens the way He made them, and He designed them to slow down for a reason. And first of all, I don't know if you guys know this, but this is an interesting little fact. Hens were born with all the eggs that they will ever lay, okay? So if you supplement with artificial lighting or like some of the big commercial plants, right, that produce, like, you know, the big egg factories that I don't like to talk about, they literally can have their chickens laying every single day and deplete their entire egg supply in a year. And then they cull those chickens and make room for new ones. Well, I want to extend my hens' life. I want to help them be the healthiest that they can. So we do not supplement with artificial lighting here on our farm because we don't believe that it's best for our chickens. And it helps me keep those older chickens that I really like. It helps me keep them out of the freezer and out of the stew pot a little bit longer. I can justify that with the farm dad, okay? So that's how we do it. And then we try to add new chicks every spring. We try to hatch from our own flock so that we are self-sustaining and we are supplementing our own farm. And so if you add new chicks in every year, then sometimes you can keep the egg production going if they are the right kind of layers and they lay through the winter. And this winter, we have been super blessed. We have been getting between 8 and 13 eggs every day. There have been winters even with 50 to 60 chickens here on our little farm where we get 0 eggs some days, okay? So we are super excited that we have been able to fill customer orders almost all winter long, keep ourselves supplied with eggs, and for the first time I have extra. And so usually people will water glass eggs in the summer, like towards the end of summer into fall, to get ready so that they are keeping eggs in case their supply depletes. Because the worst thing for a small homesteader or a farmer is when we have to go buy eggs from the store, okay? So if you're a small farmer and you're subscribed to my channel, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it is the worst feeling to have to walk into a grocery store in the middle of winter and buy eggs because your chickens could not produce enough eggs. So this is where water glassing your eggs can come in handy, okay? And some of you who may not even have your own farm, you can still do this. Maybe you have a supplier that you buy from. Maybe you buy from a local small farm near you. Just get some extra if you can, or if you're not utilizing, like maybe you only use 6 eggs a week, you could water glass the other 6, okay? So here is what you're going to need to water glass eggs, okay? You're going to be blown away. And I have to admit, I haven't tasted a water glass egg yet, but I hope to do a follow-up video like in 6 months. So we'll taste them in 6 months and we'll taste them in 8 months, because I have read that water glassing eggs, they will stay safe and preserved for a year to 2 years. Okay, so we're gonna try it out. All right, so what you need for water glassing your eggs, you need a container that is clean and sterile. I am going to use a gallon jar this time. Some people use 5-gallon food grade storage containers, which is what I'm planning to do in the late summer when we do this again, okay, to give us eggs through the winter. But I'm going to use an old pickle jar. I love these. I've gathered these up through the years and they come in quite handy for a lot of things. So a pickle jar, this has been cleaned out, and a lid, all right? You're going to need water, okay? I am going to use distilled water because I had a gallon of it on hand. But you don't have to use distilled water. If you have well water, you are good to go. If you're on city water and you know there's fluoride or chlorine or whatever, you're gonna wanna boil it, and that's fine. So you don't have to use you don't have to use distilled or spring water. I just happen to have that gallon, so I'm gonna use it because I didn't wanna take time to boil water because I was so excited about doing this video. Then you're going to need this product. Okay, so you're going to need calcium hydroxide or lime, okay? This is pickling lime. You can get it in bigger containers. I will tell you, I just ordered this from Amazon. You can probably even pick this up at Walmart. I hate to say that word because I hate to go to Walmart. But anyway, this is just Mrs. Wages. She's one of my, I don't even know. This company is one of my favorite companies. I use a lot of their mixes. I will drop this link below in the description so you can get this on Amazon if you want to try water glassing eggs. So you need that, okay? And then you need some clean eggs. And here's the kicker for water glassing eggs, which is why I haven't done it yet, because it's been so wet and muddy. The eggs, as you gather them, have to be fresh and clean. That means no dirt, because you cannot wash them. You don't even want to wipe them clean because you don't want to risk washing off the bloom that eggs are laid with to protect them. So if you don't know, eggs are laid with a protective coating called the bloom. Okay, so you don't want any dirt. So that's why I've been waiting to do this video, because it has been so rainy and so gross and so muddy that all of our eggs have had to have been washed. So this morning I was able to gather clean eggs. So we are going to start the process. I'm gonna double check them as I put them in to make sure that they are super clean, because we don't want any dirt. Okay, so here's what you do, you guys. For every quart of water, it's 1 ounce of pickling lime. Okay, you're gonna mix it up. You're gonna pour it in here. You're going to add your eggs pointy side down, if you can, okay? And you want at least 2 inches of water over the top of the eggs. So the eggs have to be covered at all times. And then you sit this jar in a place where it can't get bumped around. So that's gonna be tricky for me. I probably should have videoed the other way so that this can just sit on my back counter. So you want this in a cool place where it doesn't get super hot, okay? And you don't wanna move it around a lot. And I am going to be adding to this, okay, until I get it filled up. And you can do that as long as you're super careful. You can just add more of your pickling water, your lime water, and more eggs as you go. So every time I get some clean eggs, I'm just gonna add to it. But like during the summer, when you have tons and tons of eggs, and for some reason my customers seem to not, a lot of people go on vacation, so I have extra eggs during the summer. So I'm planning to do a 5-gallon bucket, okay? So this is a great way to make sure you always have your own eggs on hand. And I have read, again, I don't know if this is true or not, I haven't tasted them, so you're gonna have to check back in 6 months. But I have read reports where They taste great at 6 months, 8 months, a year. You can scramble them, you can fry them, you can use them in your baking, so they are still good. So you can see why I'm so geeked out about this, right? And like I said, even if you're not a homesteader or a small farmer, you don't have your own chickens, your own backyard chickens, you could still do this with eggs that you buy from a small farm. You do not want eggs from the store. Okay, this won't work with that. And when you buy those eggs from the small farmer that you're supporting, ask them to please not wash them and to make sure that they don't have any dirt on them, okay? So you'll have to probably have a decent relationship with the person you're supporting and buying from, but it can be done. Okay, so let's do this. You ready? Let's rock and roll. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of technical difficulties and I just wanted to keep rolling and it didn't work. Okay, so I have 2 quarts of water already in here. Remember, I'm using some distilled water that I already have on hand. You can use distilled water, spring water, or you can boil your water if you have city water and then just let it cool. This does not have to be hot. In fact, you don't want it to be hot or warm water. You just want it to be a regular temperature water. And then your pickling lime, okay, it's an ounce to every quart of water. So this is 2 ounces. There's I know you can't see it, but it says 2 ounces on the side. This is 2 ounces. So we're going to go ahead and pour this in and mix it up really well. Now, it's going to be cloudy, okay, and that doesn't change. Don't worry about, like I said, no boiling water. It would still be cloudy. You might not want to breathe it in. Whew, that went right up my nose. Anyway, oh, it's gonna be, excuse me, it's gonna be a milky white color. That's the way you want it. That's the way it should look. Okay. Now, we're gonna pour this into this jar. I'm gonna try to do this on camera without making a huge mess. We'll see. I am known for being super messy. Ask my family. Okay. I probably should have grabbed a towel. This could turn out disastrous. We'll see. Okay. So we're gonna pour this into this container. While I'm pouring it, I wanted to tell you that I have read, remember this is a new kind of experiment for me, but I have read that the lime will settle to the bottom, and that's okay. It doesn't affect the preserving process. They will still be fine. Okay, so you can see I have way more than I need, but right now, because we only have to have 2 inches, and I'm probably gonna add about 6 eggs to this right now. But I'm planning to add more eggs as I go this week, okay? Unless it gets super rainy and nasty. Okay, so let's see. This is my favorite little green egg. There's 0 dirt. This is from one of my favorite chickens. I even know who lays this egg. We're gonna put it in here very gently. Oh, another thing I just read, or just forgot that I read. You are supposed to wear gloves when you do this because of the alkaline properties of the lime. So I guess my hands might get a little bit dried out, but it's all right. So I should have had gloves. So these are all clean eggs, no dirt. I know this one looks dirty, but she always lays this egg that looks like it's dirty, but it's not. I guess that's just her. So we're gonna put these in, pointy side down. All right. And we're just gonna get them all in here. It's gonna be hard. It's hard to see, but you know what? They're all gonna be in here. All right. Now I know why you wear gloves. I can kind of feel the grit on my hands. I'll just make sure I wash them off. Okay. Let's see. What else is clean? Here's a clean one. Get them all in there. And then we'll be able to add more to this as we go. I'm super excited. You guys, I have been wanting to do this video forever. So if I act a little crazy and geeked out, it's because I am a little crazy and geeked out. So I hope you're as excited as I am, and I hope that this will give you something to try. Okay, that's all I'm going to put in right now because this last one over here is got some dirt on it. I'm gonna put the lid on it. Sure I am. I'm gonna put the lid on it. There we go. And then I'm gonna gently move it over to the other counter when we are finished. Oh, look at that, more technical difficulties. All right, so that was it. So I will tell you before the little camera tilt that I hopefully will edit out, but in case I don't, it's real life here, right? My camera tipped over on my tripod. But I do suggest gloves. So I was talking about that while I was putting them down in there. It does suggest wearing gloves. I can tell even after washing my hands that if you were adding a lot, like if you were using a 5-gallon bucket, your hands would probably get dried out. Okay, it is the pH does make it a little alkaline. So I'm gonna very carefully show you. Look, so the reason you want to store it, okay, there they are. I think there are 6 or 7 eggs in here. I will keep adding to it. I'll keep taking pictures and posting them. So if you follow me on Instagram, Nontoxic Farm Mom, Jamie Jan Nontoxic Farm Mom, or on Facebook, Jamie Jan Nontoxic Farm Mom, these will have pictures. I will do a follow-up video in about 6 months, and I'm gonna make the family do a taste testing for me and see what we think. But I have been reading such amazing things about this, so I'm super excited about this way of preserving our fresh farm eggs so that we can have them all winter long if our chickens decide that they're gonna stop laying. So water glass your eggs, everybody. I can't wait for you to try it. If you already water glass your eggs, please drop some comments below and tell me tips and tricks. Did I miss anything? Is it really as easy as this? Is it really gonna work? Have you tasted them? Have you used them? Drop your comments below. I want to hear all about them. So thank you ahead of time for subscribing. Make sure you subscribe to Jamie Jan Nontoxic Farm Mom so you don't miss out on any of this cool, fun, geeky stuff that I like to do. So thank you for your support, and stay tuned for the follow-up video in about 6 months. We'll see if they taste as good as I've read.